Advantage.
ข้อได้เปรียบ
Being a child has both advantages and disadvantages. Arrest.
จับกุม
Han was arrested for daring to speak out against them. Athletic.
เกี่ยวกับกีฬา
She was really athletic, great at all sports. Befriend.
ตีสนิท
Kinder boys were afraid to befriend him. Bite.
กัด
You use your teeth and mouth to bite. Blow.
เป่า
A balloon blew up in my face once, so I'm terrified of doing it. Boarding school.
โรงเรียนประจ
Gordonston is a famous and very expensive boarding school. Clap.
ำตบมือ
We were all clapping our hands in time with the music. Climb.
ปีน
I had to climb a ladder to get the cat down. Coincidence.
เหตุบังเอิญ
What a coincidence. Common room.
ห้องส่วนกลาง
They all have TVs, a common room, and a kitchen. Con.
แย้ง
Being a child has both pros and cons. Corridor.
ทางเดิน
She'd just walked past me in the corridor. Curriculum.
หลักสูตร
What sports are part of the school's curriculum? Depend on.
ขึ้นอยู่กับ
Children depend on getting pocket money. Disadvantage.
ข้อเสีย เสียเปรียบ
Being a child has both advantages and disadvantages. Disastrous.
หายนะ
She wants to forget the disastrous cookery exam. Disgusting.
น่าขยะแขยง
How disgusting. Dismal.
กลุ้มใจ
The dismal mark was no surprise as I'd neglected my studies. Ditch.
คูน้ำ
I crashed her car, turned it over in a ditch. Domestic science.
คหกรรมศาสตร์
My domestic science exam was, in fact, a cookery exam. Dreadful.
น่ากลัว
How dreadful. Dump.
เท ทิ้ง
He texted Anna to say that he'd dumped her. Embarrassing.
น่าอาย
I felt like my mum and dad were just embarrassing. Endure.
อดทน
Boys were expected to endure hard conditions. Exile.
ถูกเนรเทศ
Han was exiled to Britain. Fulfill.
เติมเต็ม
It can be difficult to fulfill all your dreams. Fuss.
เอะอะ
When her parents came back, they kicked up such a fuss. Grounded.
กักบริเวณ
I was grounded for a month. Hit.
ตี
You hit a nail with a hammer. Homesick.
คิดถึงบ้าน
Try not to feel too homesick while you're away. Hug.
กอด
They hugged each other tightly and said goodbye. Infection.
การติดเชื้อ
You might get an infection if you scratch it. Ironically.
แดกดัน
Ironically, today, I am a quite good cook. Kick.
เตะ
I can't kick a football very well with my left foot. Kick off.
เตะออก
Three small boys were kicking off in the corridor outside. Kneel.
คุกเข่า
Do people kneel down to pray in all religions? Ladder.
บันไดปีน
I had to climb a ladder to get the cat down. Lick.
เลีย
I wish my dog wouldn't lick my face. Loath.
เกลียด
Charles loathed Gordonston. March.
เดิน
My nephew marches up and down like a soldier. Nail.
เล็บ
He's useless at DIY. He can't even hit a nail with a hammer. Nails.
เล็บ
I keep trying to stop biting my nails, but I can't. Neglect.
ละเลย
The dismal mark was no surprise as I'd neglected my studies. Nerdy.
เนิร์ด
I was a bit of a nerdy student. I always did my homework. Overall.
โดยรวม
I only just managed to get enough marks overall to continue. Overseas.
ต่างประเทศ
Han encouraged the boys to work overseas. Persuade.
โน้มน้าว
I'd persuaded him to let me go to this big party. Point.
จุด
The gunman pointing a gun at the bank clerk. Pray.
อธิษฐาน
Do people kneel down to pray in all religions? Pressurize.
กดดัน
They can feel pressurized by parents and the education system. Pro.
มืออาชีพ ข้อดี
Being a child has both pros and cons. Pupil.
นักเรียน
I wasn't a star pupil, but I was good at taking exams. Remarkable.
โดดเด่น
It's a remarkable story in a way. Retirement home.
บ้านพักคนชรา
Pupils help in the local area, visiting retirement homes. Revise.
ปรับปรุงใหม่
I always did my homework and revised hard. Rifle.
ปืนไรเฟิล
Students can also do horse riding, rifle shooting, and golf. Risk-taking.
ความเสี่ยง
Outdoor activities and risk-taking were central to Han. Rounded.
โค้งมน
It aims to produce much more rounded, risk-taking adults. Rug.
พรม
My dad put a rug down on the grass. Score.
คะแนน
I scored 9% in the chemistry exam at the end of my first year. Scratch.
เกา
You might get an infection if you scratch it. Shudder.
ตัวสั่น
The memory of failing that exam makes me shudder to this day. Skill.
ทักษะ
Skills such as mountaineering and sailing were taught. Stare.
จ้อง
It's impolite to stare in some cultures. SWAT.
สวอต
I didn't want to be called a SWAT. Whistle.
นกหวีด
Since you whistled that tune I can't get it out of my head.